Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today, in a multi-part Smash-tacular event, we're going over the Mario movie figures versus the Sonic movie figures to see which is the best. Focusing on Cat Mario, Tanuki Mario, Bowser, Super Sonic, Super Shadow, and Robotnik. Before we begin, leave a like, hit subscribe, and comment below your favorite figure in this review. It really helps out the channel. Now let's get to it. Cat Mario looks and also feels nice. Let's check him out. Cat Mario's head sculpt is amazing. I think it looks like a duck though. This is like a bill. The ears are great, but look at the texturing. It's marvelous. The mustache has some amazing texture as well as the little sideburns. Here the details are immaculate for this one. But man, that texture is so great. It just looks so nice and feels awesome too. You get some swivel over here and all the way around. What an epic head sculpt, guys. I love it. The body carries that same texture but really looks just awesome. The only thing I can think about that isn't great are the elbows. Look at how clean and smooth compared to the rough texture they are. The gloves have that texture over here as well as a paw pad that's very cute, and the articulation is really nice for this guy. Same as Mario, but just better. You do lose some paint over here though with the twist. And the tail can swivel around a little bit. It looks wonderful, and again that texture looks amazing, and the little mild paint apps they have on this guy are just awesome. And the legs look great as well with that nice texturing, even if we do have some articulation points over here that stick out like a sore thumb, as well as the back here that isn't that great, but it's painted on the inside. It's pretty cool. And he also has little foot pads on the bottom with some legalese too. This could be printed a little farther back though, and the articulation is pretty solid on this guy. Not that amazing or anything, but it works well for the figure at least, and he can stand nicely. Cat Mario looks awesome, feels awesome, is just really nice. I don't have that many problems with him. I'll give him a solid 9 out of 10. Super Sonic may be really shiny and awesome and gold, but is he? Let's check him out. Super Sonic's head sculpt is okay for me. I do like the texturing on here and it's really nice, but I gotta say the smile and the dimple just isn't doing it for me. The paint apps are pretty good on the head sculpt as well as the eyes are nice too, the nose, and the articulation is fine, but in the end it's just another Sonic, guys. I do like how this looks over here, and the articulation is the same as the previous Sonic, so there isn't really much to have this guy stand out from the rest. It's kind of a shame. The articulation's all there. You do lose the stomach thing though with the paint that's kind of sad on that, and the leg articulation is nice as well, and it's great, but I gotta say nothing really different from the rest. Super Sonic is great and all, but he's basically the same as the rest of these Sonics. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. And even though Light Up Sonic is different than the previous one, the key difference is the light itself as well as the paint on here looking really great. But man, that light shining is awesome. It goes all the way through the head as well as the back and the eyes. It's a sight to behold and makes the figure so much better in comparison. So in a weird way, regular Super Sonic loses to Cat Mario, who loses to Light Up Super Sonic. It's the circle of life. Tanuki Mario may look nice, but is he better than his cat variant? Let's find out. Already I'm seeing some corners cut from the previous figure. We have the nose is smaller, the mouth is a little bit higher up, and the eyes are different, and the whole head doesn't look that great. The whole head is round, and the ears are just fine, I guess. They don't look that great to me, and the back is kind of boring. No real paint apps except for the ears at all, but it's all just one big bleh shade of brown. The articulation doesn't really move up and down. It's just kind of eh. The body is the same as Cat Mario with the same kind of flaws, but even bigger flaws, or smaller flaws, should I say. The hand is tiny. What's up with that? It looks awful. And the tail only twists. It doesn't really go up and down, but moving it up and down actually loosens the joint on the inside, so that's kind of a bad thing. They should have put a hinge here. That would have been great. And the legs are fine, I guess. They're the same as previous, but the color isn't as appealing, and these aren't really that great either, so you're just buying a lesser version of Cat Mario here, everybody. I'm sorry. It's a nice figure, don't get me wrong. The articulation is fine, I guess, but realistically, I'll have to give this a 6 out of 10. Super Shadow, by sheer contrast, looks really awesome and just is awesome. Let's talk about him. Having gone over many a Shadow the Hedgehog recently, this one is one of the best ones. I love it so much. Look at the eyes. They finally fixed the whole eye problem. It looks awesome on this one. The hair stripes are like this really nice, deep kind of red. It's just amazing, almost pinkish, and it kind of flares out a bit on some of the paint points. And these little sort of quills, the lights are amazing for that light piping. And the body is the same as the previous Shadow, but it's very muted. It looks really good. It actually takes away from the body to focus on the head. That looks amazing. It's just great. We got all the same articulation and everything from the previous Shadow figure, and it's just awesome, much better, and they really knocked it out of the park with this one. I can't wait to see how the regular one looks without this, but it's going to be, I think, maybe even better. But the best thing again is the lights. It looks just awesome here. I love how it glows, I think even better than Sonic's, and yeah, this is just phenomenal. Look at those eyes, they're wonderful. Awesome figure, great articulation, great sculpt, and paint. 9 out of 10, just amazing. Super Shadow takes his victory here for Maria. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and hit the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Here he is, Bowser, King of the Koopas. It has been a long time since I've talked about this guy. He is just a gorgeous, massive figure. Let's talk about him. Bowser himself is the most similar to what we've seen from the games. His face looks basically the same, except his jaw is a little bit elongated, and it looks really good, though. I'm not gonna lie, it's just amazing here. I love the sculpt. His eyes are squinting a little bit. His hair is this big mane of red. His brows are great, and the horns are awesome. The teeth are just sharp and scary. The inside looks interesting too. And while I'm not going to show it here, there's a previous video I have on my channel that has the light glowing red as well as smoke coming out of his mouth from a port here. You put in some water and voila, smoke. I love the detail the arms have. They have a slight subtle reptilian texture that look great, but also the green coming out from the shell going into his body and then fading into the yellow of his arms. Genius. He also has a really rubbery feel to him. He'd be great for like kids, you know, and it works super well with the articulation also. It isn't much, but it works great for this figure, honestly. This big kind of burly guy, you don't need much articulation. He's huge. The stomach is large and rotund. It's kind of fat in a way. I love it, but all these little striations and bumps are excellent over here. They make a nice feel, too. And all of his spikes are silver-tipped rather than, like, white-tipped from the games. It adds a little more threat and realism to them. They just look awesome on him. All these different collar pieces. It's just great. And the shell itself, while having a couple spotty paint apps here and there, makes it look more natural and realistic. I love how this piece looks. It's just so nice and is very formidable on him. And right here is the button pressed for the light if the batteries were on, though it's still a nice feature and actually integrates well into the figure, not being too obtrusive. It's on a random spike in his back. It's just great. The tail has a few articulation points that make it really stand out, and the green looks nice coming from the shell, as well as some spikes in the back. It's just awesome, and the texture is really nice, rubbery and scaly. I think the legs have the best feature for the green. It really has this deep green over here going to a lighter green, then a yellow coming down to the feet with some nice articulation for that. The legs don't move much, he kind of crouches, but it works so well for him, guys. Amazing sculpt, great paint, wonderful articulation fitting for the character, as well as a light up function and breathing smoke. 10 out of 10 figure right here, everybody. Dr. Ivor Robotnik looks great in this incarnation. I like him a lot. Let's check him out. The head sculpt is pretty similar to Jim Carrey and only has a swivel, sadly, but it just looks nice and captures the character's insanity. It's really bald and just looks wonderful with the paint, too. It's awesome. The body looks very nice as well. The paint apps could be cleaner, though. They could be a little better on the suit. The suit looks much nicer in the movie, and yeah, the articulation's kind of off on his body. It's very strange to me. The arm's got some really good stuff, though. We get all the way around, as well as single joint elbows at least, and swivels and hinges everywhere you'd want them to be, as well as butterfly joint, which is surprising to see. It's good articulation for this body and it works out really well. The legs are kind of bow-legged and you can't really move them inwards that much. They do get okay articulation at least, but really it could be better in a lot of places. I do appreciate some paint on here though, but yeah, it's just not that great. it. And to mention outside of this figure really quickly, he doesn't scale well with other characters. He should be way taller, so yeah, that's points against him, sadly. While Ivo Robotnik looks the part, he doesn't scale to the part, as well as the articulation being kind of weird and wonky, so it's a 6 out of 10 for me. And as rightful king, Bowser takes his crown here. Overall, a super furry showdown. Jakks Pacific really stepped up with Wave 2, giving us Cat Mario and Tanuki Mario. They're really nice figures, and even if Tanuki Mario has a few flaws, he still looks great. But Bowser is the real king of the Jakks Pacific Mario movie line. He's everything great they had put into one excellent figure. And on the Sonic side, while a lot of these super characters are just repaints of older figures, they're still really great, especially the light up ones. That light up function is phenomenal. And while I do really appreciate the articulation of this Robotnik figure, I feel like the paint and scale could be better moving forward with a deluxe 8-inch Robotnik that would really tip the scale in his favor. If you're a fan of the Mario movie, the Sonic movies, or Jakks Pacific figures in general, then you'll love all these. They're really great. But I would highly recommend seeking out the Super 2-pack with the light up function, Cat Mario, and Bowser. They are well worth it. But make no mistake, I can't wait to see what Jakks Pacific has in store for Mario 2 and Sonic 4. So which figure here is your favorite? Cat Mario, Tanuki Mario, Bowser, any of the super figures, Robotnik? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.